turned the page to January and 2024. December 2023 wrapped up very warm and very wet. Second warmest December on record for the Hartford area. Third wettest December. We had a trace of snow, but that means that our snow deficit continues to grow. 2023 as a whole, an impressively wet year. The third wettest on record for the Hartford area and one of the warmest. Things are certainly off to a bit of a colder start here on our first night of the new year, though. Down to 34 right now in Brantford, 23 in Kent, 27 in Stores, 27 in Bristol. Our network of neighborhood weather stations showing dew points back in the teens and 20s. It's going to be seasonably cold out there tonight, but certainly one of the colder nights that we've seen recently. First alert, live radar, Connecticut's only live radar with nothing to show. Scanning the skies, it's bright outside. A live look on our iCam, or rather it's dry outside, not bright, it's nighttime. A live look on our iCam Middletown right now showing the bright lights across the river there in Portland. Everything is dry. A live look on our iCam in Mystic, the Bascule Bridge. Also, not much to chat about outside weather-wise. It's the sensible weather that you feel when you step outside. We made it to 44 for the Hartford area today, which is about 7 degrees above average for this time of year. So another mild day, but that will change as we get into the end of the week, especially. Some chillier air is on its way. We'll get there probably around Friday. That's when we're expecting things to be just a little bit chillier out there. Temperatures continue dropping back here under these clear skies into the 20s statewide by about 3 in the morning. And we will hit our coldest point with some teens across the high elevations right around 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Scott will be here for that. But beyond that, abundant sunshine tomorrow as temperatures return to the 40 to 45 degree range. Going to be, by all standards, at least for January, a pretty nice day. Lots of sunshine out there, and certainly welcomed after the damp weather rather that we had last week and into the weekend. First alert futurecast shows high pressure to our south. We have this cold front that will start to approach late tomorrow into Wednesday morning, and then by Thursday we expect that to move through. And this with it could bring perhaps a couple of mixed showers or some flurries Thursday morning. We're not really expecting much of an impact, and anything that does move through will be very hit or miss. And then we dry out later Thursday, and by Friday, we're talking about a big spike here on the static meter as that cold, dry air returns behind the front. But once we approach the weekend, things begin to change a little bit as another storm system starts to form, and that is where we could see things perhaps become a bit more wintry across Connecticut. We'll get to that in just a second. First, forecast high temperatures tomorrow, upper 30s, low 40s inland tomorrow, low to mid 40s along the shoreline. Abundant sunshine. Tomorrow's sunset is 4:31, so we are slowly gaining a bit of daylight back too. By Wednesday, we're still in the 40s, increasing clouds. Thursday, there's that morning mix, perhaps some flurries, really not much of an impact there at all. Friday is cold, though. Highs will only be in the 30s. And then Saturday, we start to see clouds increase, too. We're watching Sunday. Sunday is the day here. Notice that forecast high temperatures are expected to be in the 30s. And as we get into the day on Sunday, we'll be tracking a storm. The question is, where does that storm track? The American model and the European model here, Saturday night, 9 o'clock. Notice the mixing on the European. Showers developing. And then by Sunday morning, perhaps we have some snow or mixed showers around. Both models showing at least something. The GFS, the American model, not nearly as impressive as the European model, and these continue into the afternoon and evening on Sunday. So we'll be watching very closely over the next several days. This is your first alert, though, that things could be a bit impacted if you have plans to wrap up the weekend. And Eliza, the chilly weather will linger into the start of next week with highs forecast to be back in the 30s.
Thank you, Mike.